Hey everybody, welcome back to Gooseberry Homestead. Reba here. Well, this is rental life for you. When you have neighbors, sometimes you just can't control, how they do yard work. Even if you're not renting, even if you're buying a home and you happen to live in close quarters, such as I am, where your backyards are literally connected by 0 inches, you completely can understand sometimes, depending on how you do any kind of gardening or anything like that. Now, I like to keep some of my trees and my raspberries up against this fence line on this side of our house, because when the wind blows from the west to the east, which is on this side of my yard, generally speaking, my plants will all fall over. And I have been known to put rocks and stuff into my pots so my plants don't fall over. Well, I was thinking, you know what? It's probably good. The dog's not going to get dust all over the plants now. He's kind of stopped pacing now that he's kind of settled in. Everything's good in that front. A-okay. So I'm very, very pleased. But you can't control everything in your yard. And, oh my goodness, I can just say, I am forever moving these plants around. I cannot tell you how many times I've moved them this summer. You guys have seen my videos. It's possible you've probably maybe even counted how many times I've had to move them. I decided, well, maybe I don't like them in that place. I was worried about having the blueberries all the way back in this corner over here. I had the trees and stuff over there for a few moments, like maybe a week, 2 weeks, something like that. And I didn't really care for that position, especially when I started seeing the squirrels up in the trees in the back. They were eating all those cherries, and I figured having them back right here was a little bit too close to where they live in the forest, and they would be mighty tempting to them if they happen to discover them. Up here closer to the house, the squirrels are a little less likely to come up here. They do come up here because sometimes I throw nuts and stuff outside here along the patio area, and so sometimes they come up here, but generally they're not looking for the fruit. So that's been the plus. But I'm having to move my plants again because, well, they got a lot of yard work debris in them today, and so I'm cleaning off the sides of the pots and that sort of thing. And this is just something you've got to do when you're renting, because you can't control how somebody's lawnmower works or how high their weed eater is going to kick grass and stuff up. So I've got a lot of debris on my pots, which is completely fine, and I can clean out my pots, which is not a problem. But now I'm going to have that pesky task, I guess you could say, where I'm going to be watching grass growing in my containers. And if I don't stay on top of it, it can easily get out of hand. And I've had that happen to one of my other container pots, primarily those longer rectangled ones. And I didn't get on top of it, and we have a lot of Bermuda grass in our yards here. And so those put out roots. They occupy all the soil, and the roots will actually take all of the water and nutrients in the soil away from the plants that you're growing. So my husband was like, hey, the grass should be okay for your plants. And I'm like, yes, but also no. So like the dead bits, that's fine. It'll biodegrade. It'll turn back into dirt and soil and that sort of thing. But now I have to retop all of my containers with a little bit of fresh soil, which I'm probably going to end up burying some of those seeds that have gotten into my container pots. And it is what it is. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal, but it has coated a lot of my lower lying leaves and that sort of thing, and I need to get in here and clean them out. So needless to say, I am yet moving my plants again. So I'm just going to move them away from the fence over here so they don't, when I do yard work, I get grass in them too. So generally not quite as much. So, you can kind of see there's kind of a thick layer down here, but it's not that big of a deal. but that Bermuda grass is no joke, you guys. So now I'm in the process of moving, and I don't know where I want to put some of my plants. And so yeah, the beans are doing good, but I'm not going to show you them because there's some kids playing over there, and they're not my children, so I won't be showing them. But the garden is doing really, really well. And I'll show you some figs, and I said that last week. I said I'll show you some of the figs that are growing. I have to look at my work schedule, see where I'm scheduled to work this week. And if I'm not scheduled to work tomorrow, I'll try to do a video on the figs over here in this section. I've got them all moved over here now in this section. This section of the yard tends to be the best spot for the majority of my plants. Not a whole lot happens over in this section of the yard, and so I really don't see a reason why I shouldn't just bring the rest of those plants over into this section. Now I do have some of these elongated rectangle plants along here. I've already moved my ash, my Ivan's Beauty Mountain Ash here, and as you can see, I had to spray a lot of the soil off, so some of the bulbs are actually showing there now, and those are grape hyacinths down in there. And so yeah, so now I need to just put a couple scoops of soil on top of each of the pots that I had to completely get most of that soil, because a lot of that grass mixed in with some of the soil. So now I have to like top dress a lot of my container pots, and luckily I have a little bit of dirt to do that. So everything is looking beautiful. This is that Perfume Delight flower, and it is a pretty bubblegum pink color, just absolutely beautiful. Smells really great too, love it. And I got pictures of that, so I'm loving it. And then over here on this side, I've got that Touch of Class coming in here, and it's more of a pinkish orange hues to it, so it's kind of like orangey pink. And then I've got the bubblegum pink, and then I have the heirloom over here, which has those it will look kind of like a dark pink when it starts out, sometimes even red. It looks like it's going to be a red rose, but then it ends up being that beautiful purpley pink color. And so I am loving the colors of the roses in my garden so far, and I'm looking forward to getting more of the gold medals and seeing how some of those other roses turn out. I've seen Tropicana and as well as the gold medal, I believe it's called, and I'm waiting on Arizona, I think it is, and I think that's going to be an orange colored rose. So I'm really excited for that. And I am going to show you really quick. It's up here by my mess. My mess has gotten a lot smaller. This is the junky area of the house up under the patio. It was clean, and now I've got plants, and there's really not that much, but it just looks like a lot. So I need to get it all cleaned out again. So this is all recycling right here. And so our recycle bin's full. So I'm just waiting to put this all in the recycle bin and some trash. And I think I'm just going to get rid of these trash cans and just be done with them so they're not taking up space. But this rose right here, I think this is my Adobe Sunrise. So I stuck it in this pot and it rooted last year. So it was just one of the cuttings I had taken because I was shaping the plant and the rose bush and that sort of thing. So that's how it looks. So I'm going to go ahead and finish cleaning out my containers and getting everything set up over in this section now. And I'll come back hopefully tomorrow, show you where I put everything, and then go from there, you guys. So anyways, thanks so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. Click that bell button. As always, you guys, have a wonderful day. Love what you grow what you love, and God bless. Bye.